Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. This is your Z107.7 Local news for Sunday, August 4th, 2024. That's right, August, typically considered the peak of summer and the peak of those hot temps we've been feeling. July's early heat waves may have taken a few of us by surprise as triple-digit temps kept things cooking during the day without much relief at night. Last week, I asked for some tips on how you stay cool if you don't have air conditioning, and some folks sent in some great suggestions, like Bill Butler, who leans on evaporative cooling by putting on shirts and shorts that are still wet, creating an instant cooling effect around your body. I do this too. When you're outside watering your plants, throw a little water on yourself while you're at it. Marcia says she pays attention to which rooms heat up her house, and she's created cooler areas with lattice and shade cloth that block the sun from adding extra heat to her home. She also says that moving air around is essential. A rechargeable fan makes it easy to place where it does the most good, and ice packs and cold water on your feet and neck help too. Mark says that if you're cooking in your house, use your microwave instead of an oven, which will heat up your food more efficiently and create less ambient heat. He also made some sun-blocking reflective panels out of styrofoam and aluminum foil, which can be placed in windows during the day and easily removed at night for air circulation. He also shares a tip that cotton thermal underwear over a white t-shirt is insulating, reflective, and wicks perspiration away from the skin, increasing your body's natural cooling. Many of these stay cool methods lean on the principle that as water evaporates, it feels cooler. That's why on less humid days, a wet shirt feels nice and a swamp cooler blows icy cold air. Earlier desert dwellers had the same idea, and before solar panels and mini splits, folks in the high and low deserts got creative with the power of cold evaporating air. I asked Les Snodgrass of the 29 Palms Historical Society about early desert denizens' methods to keep the temps down. He said that many early residents cooled down food in a makeshift desert cooler, which was a frame and a water reservoir covered with burlap or a similar material, and that would keep the contents cool using evaporation. 90 years ago, ice wasn't as easily accessible as it is in your home freezer, which is why 29 Palms had an ice plant. In a July 26 article from the 1934 29 Palms Outpost newspaper, they talked about Ted E. Holderman's Desert Ice and Cold Storage Company, which manufactured 2 tons of ice a day, with reports of 1 ton of ice being sold each day to eager 29 Palms residents. The article says that Holderman was using the newest type of refrigeration in the manufacturing of his ice, and his ice house not only cooled down residents, it also gave jobs to local folks in the area. The article also complimented the Stubbs boys on their adobe brick construction. That ice house eventually became the 29 Palms Historical Society's museum from October of 1982 until it was damaged and torn down after the Landers quake in 1992. Smith's Ranch had an ice house and an ice cream parlor. In an article written by Lucille Waite in the January 26, 1977 edition of the Desert Trail, she says that Smith's Ice House allowed fresh fish in the desert, a delicacy, along with the still popular summertime treat, iced watermelon. An even earlier article from the October 12, 1952 issue of the Desert Trail talks about Bill Smith's dairy and the first load of ice he brought in at the request of his neighbors. In the spring of 1930, he trucked in his first load of ice to his nascent dairy and ranch, but a cold spell had set in and demand for ice dropped below zero, so Bill dug a pit to store the ice until demand rose again. Modern conveniences make staying comfortable much easier than back in the day, but even with the most advanced technology and cooling available, most desert folk rely on the classics to keep us cool. Keep water around, make your own shade, and maybe most important of all, take it easy when it's extra hot. Even folks 100 years ago just wanted a simple pleasure like an ice cream cone from time to time, so treat yourself and others this August as we make it through another hot season here in the high des. Thanks to everyone who emailed and commented with your tips, and special thanks to Les Snodgrass of the 29 Palms Historical Society, who is indispensable in providing material for the research. You can find a longer version of this story, along with photos and further reading, at our website, Z107.7 FM.com. Reporting out of Joshua Tree, California, alongside the award-winning Z107.7 News team, I'm Robert Haydon.